Hi, my name is Alexis Coulterman. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the increased intake of patients. I decided to choose this topic because that's actually something that we're working on at the clinic where I work at, and it's something that really interests me, and I think that it is something good that would need project management. So why am I doing this project or how? Word of mouth. The big thing for word of mouth and wanting us to get it out to the community is our HMP plans. So basically, that means a healthy neighbor plan. We have different types of sliding fees that would require somebody. It basically is all based off of your income because in our community, there are a lot of people who are in poverty, and that is why you see people who don't qualify for state insurance or they don't just can apply to state insurance. So you see these people who are getting sick and having babies that need to be looked at, and that's very important that they know that we're here to help and that we want to help them. So community outreach is the same thing, that you want, like our community or our clinic, we want the community to know that we're here for them, we hear them, and we want to know that we are financially wanting them to feel secure. So federal funding is the other reason. That's more of like our employee side and like CEO stuff. The clinic is run by federal funding really, and grants and sponsorships. So a lot of like where we get our new services or we get new things brought into the clinic, that is because of federal funding. So if we don't meet a certain requirement of patients a year, we could possibly lose federal funding. So for example, I think the number that we are at is that we have to reach up to like 8,500 patients this year, and if we don't, we are at the risk, like I said, losing our funding, which means we lose our grants and we lose the money. And so then expanding our services, because we're such a small clinic and we want to expand ourselves, we would want to create more medical and dental provider cases. So, and even alternative services, like for example, we just started doing the massage therapist, which is something that's very new to us. We have one chiropractor and then one acupuncturist. And so basically, we just want people to be able to come to the clinic for all of their little needs that they may need. Next, how? So this is when I was going to talk about the balance. For me, going through this and doing our projects and worksheets that we've done, the balance I came up with is like $2,000 for something that's kind of small or something that would just be a lot of trial and error. I chose a smaller balance because for a radio ad, you will see that a 30-second advertisement of just talking about our clinic is almost $25 for 30 seconds. Now, to get it anywhere else like TV and whatever, that's just talking. You're talking like thousands there. And I personally don't think enough people are on TV. Maybe our older folk are on TV, but that's just not something that I see that our budget should go towards. Surveys I put in because we need a lot of patient like feedback. We need to know what patients want to see, what they wish they see, what they wish we had. I know a lot of patients in doing this in real life has said they wish that we have more of an updated medical technology and equipment, because we don't have like certain like 3D x-rays or whatever. We have your very basic x-rays. Even lab testings, we only have certain labs that we can do. So in order for us to become more efficient for other patients would be really beneficial, because if we can't do them, we have to refer them out to like Gunderson or Mayo or to whatever clinic is closest to them. And for some of our patients who are coming from Cashton and want to stay in the Cashton area, even though we can finance them at a reasonable price, Gunderson and Mayo don't technically have that for them, and so that's where you get a lot of unhappy customers. So a lot of the surveys I can see doing that. Outside advertising, I would like to see people doing the spread of word of mouth, or seeing it where we can put our ads up in areas where clients feel that we should be a number one thought to somebody that's coming out of like Westby, Viroqua, Sparta, or anybody from La Crosse. I know we're kind of in the middle a little farther away from La Crosse than usual, but I would like to see a lot more people come that way. Employment opportunities, I brought that in because if we start getting more patients, that gives the community like medical assistants and dental assistants and pharmacy technicians and receptionists jobs where they can stay local and have good jobs in this area. Supplies too, I put in because a lot of the surveys and printing and labels and whatever, you're gonna have to put that into your cost of materials. And then I put medical and dental schedules because that goes into effect when you have to talk about like how are you going to schedule or how are you going to pay, because I know many of you guys know that doctors and dentists are paid very well, even the pharmacists, and so you have to make it beneficial for the clinic so that you know that you are spreading your money wisely. So I put that in there, and I just think that schedules, right now we're at 20-minute increments. A lot of surveys or whatever recently have been saying that they don't think 20 minutes is enough time, which I totally agree. Working as a medical assistant, it really wasn't enough time. You would see appointments running 45 to an hour long, and that just got to be a lot and would put you behind schedule. So I would like to see that improved. So CEO, vice CEO, for my company, it would be Mary or Steve. HR, financial services, IT, help team, providers, employees, and community members are all who would be involved. Of course, you only have the CEO and vice CEO because those are the head of the company. So you need them to be a part because like they technically have last say. HR and financial services I have because obviously financial services we're going to talk to you about our budget. HR is going to do the employment and talking to people about getting our name out. IT and help team because obviously with the technology these days, technology is not always 100% secure. And so we always just need that person there who's good with a computer, good with softwares and whatever. Providers, obviously, because those are the ones that we need in order to make this work. Employees, because we also need those for assistance and we need people to work for us in order for our business to grow. Community members, that obviously is our main source, so we need them to come in order for all of this to work. This is my timeline I wrote up. I didn't really do the one where like how long it takes in the Slack time, but if that was really beneficial. I just can't find my actual document. So the start time I put is for like July 2019. The next step would be obviously discussing changes with the company and employees. So that's like putting the seed in, like getting everybody understanding like what we're gonna do, then meeting with providers and finding out the schedule. So really finding out like what the providers want to see in schedules, and then figuring out their schedules, because you don't always need a doctor every single day, or the same doctor every single day. Maybe they want to work a couple days a week and the other one wants to work the other days and whatever. So just figuring out their schedules, finding out the best time frames during the day, because now that we started having appointments later in the evening, that's been beneficial for people who work later, that don't work the 9 to 5, that they work like shorter shifts or longer shifts at night and evenings, and they just got to be seen for like their casual sickness. So that would be the next thing, is like putting all your information together. So your research process, gathering information and beginning making the surveys and asking questions for feedback and asking what they would like to see in the near future of the clinics. So this is all basically your seed is a little bit above ground and you're just giving it water. You want to know what your patients are wanting or what your audience wants. Start distributing the surveys, introducing them to patients and with the intent of educating your customers. So when we're handing out surveys, just don't be like, here's your survey and fill it out and put it in the box. Like let them know, like we want to see your families and their family all up here. We want to continue care here with a broader aspect. That way it's easier for your family, and let them know that we're here for we're here for the people who we know that can't afford everything, and we want them to be healthy. Health is the main thing. Health is what makes you happy. And then write up your radio advertisements and your outdoor digital advertising board. So basically outside the clinic, we have a board that talks about everything that's going on, and we would just use that to show like come on in for a free, not a free, but like a discounted massage, or come in for a free consultation for nutrition or something like that, just to get people's, because I don't know if you know, but like going through Cashton, you're coming right off of like 33, you're coming through Norwalk, you're coming through Ontario. So there's a lot of different routes on how people take, and so they would be able to see that digital and just bring them in and let them talk to you or have them give you a call. Begin making a rough draft of the provider schedule. This is where you're starting to really like the seed is really starting to come up now, and this is where everything starts and begins. So the next thing we begin, obviously, is begin scheduling patients and asking for incentives to staff to bring in more patients. The reason why I did that, because if the people that are going to bring in more patients are your employees. The people of the word of mouth is your number one goal for advertising. So maybe like a free flat screen TV, or like $100 gift card here or something like that, just for sharing on their Facebook, or maybe like even by word of mouth, just getting people more through the door while people are bragging about the community. And so I hope to end this project in October, which is like August, September. It's about a 3-month project, but I think is very reasonable for this. I mean, it would have to move fast. Obviously, you work every day for a week, so I mean, that just gives you enough time. So then, how to deal with challenges or risks. So communication, research, outreach conversations, trial and error, and patient recommendations. I feel like the biggest thing here is communication. If you don't have communication, nothing's going to go right. And then obviously research. Obviously, you want to make sure that you are researching everything that someone sees as an issue or would like to see fixed. Obviously, don't act out in the intent, because it's easy to ask questions, but it's harder to make a solution. So make sure you really are doing what the patients would like to see. And that's why I said patient recommendations. That's something that's free knowledge that you're asking for people, so you really want to make sure that you're following with them. And then to end it out, I thank you. And if there's any questions, just leave it in the discussion board. I'm sorry if you heard any squeaky toys. I have a 6-month-old puppy, and it is just incredibly hard not to catch him squeaking his toys. He loves playing. So it's been really good to meet you guys, and I hope you all the best in your college career. See ya.